Multiply and divide with the same signs. Muscular dystrophy. Last month, Uriel's enzyme test showed a reduction of 80 enzymes. During his recent test, it showed that he lost 5 times more. What is the total amount of enzymes that Uriel has lost during this last month? So for this problem, let's identify the numbers. We have a reduction of 80 enzymes. This is the same as minus 80, or negative 80. Then we know that he lost 5 times more, which is a loss. So we have negative 5. And that times more is showing us that we need to multiply these two numbers together. So let's begin to multiply. We have negative 80 times negative 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. But we aren't done because we need to look at the negative signs. But as we have 2 and we're multiplying them together, that actually becomes a positive. Because anytime you multiply or divide with 2 negative signs, or a negative sign times a negative, it becomes positive. So our answer is positive 400. And so since Uriel has lost 400 enzymes during the past month, and since muscular dystrophy enzyme typically increases, not decreases over time, this reduction is a good indicator that he may not have muscular dystrophy. So now let's revisit an important aspect of multiplying numbers with the same signs. Multiplying or dividing 2 negative numbers always results in a positive number. Now, let's use this principle to help us solve another scenario. Example 2. Timothy is undergoing an electromyography test to determine the function of his muscles. 3 needles are inserted into his leg to monitor how well the muscle moves in response to the brain telling it to move. In this leg, he had 114 less responses than a normal leg muscle would have as a result of 38 missing dystrophin. What is the number of missing responses per missing dystrophin? This is a much more complicated scenario, but if we look at the numbers and pull them out, it becomes a lot simpler. So we have 114 less responses. So that's the same as negative 114. Now we know we're missing 38 dystrophin. This is the same as negative 38. Now, look at the question. It's asking us to figure out how many Timothy's missing responses are connected to each dystrophin. This means that we're going to need to divide. So the second number we'll put out in front. And then we have our long division symbol with a negative 114 in the long division symbol. So now we can start dividing. Now 38 cannot go into 1. Can't go into 11, but it can go into 114. And so let's kind of do some quick addition to see how many times it can go in there. So 38 plus 38. So 8 plus 8 is 16, carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 7. But that's not close to 114, so let's try one more. 6 plus 8 is 14, carry the 1, which is 1 plus 7 plus 3 is 11, which is 114. And so since we used 38 3 times, we know that 38 can go into 114 3 times, which then we put 114 below, and then 114 minus 114 is 0. So now let's look at that negative symbols. Since each of the two numbers has a negative symbol, the negative becomes a positive. So our answer is positive 3. So 3 muscle responses are missing for every dystrophin that is missing.